Community of Merebank, this is in the south of Durban, calling on the eThekwini municipality to urgently fix the sewage infrastructure. For several weeks now, raw sewage has been leaking across the suburb, and that's where we find our colleague Karinda Jagmohan, who is there for us. Karinda, good morning to you. Talk to us about what happened. What is it that has caused this, and needless to say, what the residents are feeling about what they are subjected to on a daily now.
Indeed. Rolly, there is a putrid smell in the air. My colleague is showing you the raw sewage that has been leaking here. Now, we've come on a bit of a better day when the sewage leak isn't as bad, but usually what the residents say is that after heavy rains, which the city has been experiencing recently, there's sewage flowing down roads. Now, we're at one of the pump stations that is faulty, and what we hear is that there are several broken pump stations in and around eThekwini that needs to be fixed. As a result, when the pump stations are not working, raw sewage from homes or facilities are not being pumped towards the sewage treatment works. And so because of this, when there are heavy rains, the sewage is then overflowing from outlets like this one or into people's homes. And this has then obviously left residents with a health hazard. Now, one of the community representatives is the PR councillor for this area that has been trying to get the attention of the municipality, Councillor Sitembeso Ngema. My apologies, sir. If you can perhaps tell us about the extent of the infrastructure damage, please.
Thanks, Karinda. The only thing I can say is that it's been a long time as the community of Merebank telling the city about what's going to end up happening here in Merebank. One, the pump stations are not working. Every now and then, the city officials, they will come and with a honeysucker every now and then whenever there is complaints. But I can tell you now that each and every week they have to complain because these pump stations are not working. What's going to end up happening here is that people are going to wake up in the morning thinking that the floods are back, but they will be flooded by the feces all over that are flying because the city is failing. I said it's not about the recent floods. It's about the city that is failing to actually repair its infrastructure. It's a city that cannot be able to maintain its infrastructure. And who's bear the cost? It's the residents of eThekwini, the ratepayers. Because now and then they have to face with this problem. Recently we had a disabled man. He stays alone in the house. And he woke up in the morning, feces were flying all over the house. And he didn't have someone to come and help him. The worst part is when the city they're coming in to assist as and when we call them. They cannot, sometimes they don't clean up the yard. They leave it as it is. That's the third part, that's the third situation that we are facing as the community. We are now asking the city officials, especially the politicians, as well as the head of the department, which is Ethnic Msweli from Water Department, to say, please, instead of having a gala dinner in Umhlanga, where you are unpacking the budget, take that money with the chairperson of infrastructure committee, come to the community and say, what can we do to help you? Because the only thing that we are asking for, make sure that all the pump stations are working, maintain the infrastructure, clean up the lines now and then, clean up the water drainage, because at the end of the day, as you can see there, that this is a raw sewer. It goes down to the canal. From the canal, it goes straight to the beach, and people are fishing there. Because there is no even notice board to say stop fishing. People are still fishing there, and the E. coli is all over.
And Councillor, just briefly, what is the worst that the situation has been here?
It is when every now and then people wake up in the morning and there's feces flying all over. That is the worst situation. And I believe that this problem is not only in Merebank. This problem is in the entire city because the city, the water department, the infrastructure committee and its leadership, it's something that they need to invest in. We've said that years ago to say invest in your infrastructure. Once you get your water system up and running, up to par, you've got your road infrastructure and you've got metropolis. You will have more businesses coming to Durban. You will have more people investing in the city. And that's where we'll make more revenue. And that will ease the burden from the shoulders of the ratepayers. But as it stands, it tells you that we are now collapsing. The city is on its knees.
Councillor Sitembiso Ngema, thank you for your time. Speaking about the importance of fixing infrastructure, one point he mentioned is that the raw sewage that is coming out of this is going straight into the beach, and of course we know beaches in Durban have been closed now for several weeks because of high levels of E. coli, because of the broken infrastructure including water and sewage infrastructure. One example that you're seeing right here in the community of Merebank that has been living in a very putrid smell, worrying about when heavy rains will come, leaving raw sewage around their suburb. Quite an interesting story here, and we'll catch up with the eThekwini mayor in the next hour as he launches a new fleet of Durban solid waste unit vehicles. Oli.
Karinda, Jagmohan, thank you very much for that update, reporting for us from Merebank, a place that effectively is now a health hazard.